Hey, Leslie, did that help some in the back? The light?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's a few, but
Yeah,
like I said, I didn't notice them before, so
right.
and I
The
had
things,
already forgotten.
yeah, the things that we notice about our own
Uh-huh.
backgrounds and
Uh-huh.
stuff.
We're too hard on our own selves.
We are. I'm just excited that it helped a little. I was like, all right. It's all rigged back there on um, like those trays that you can eat on. I took one
Yeah,
of
huh?
those and
Yeah.
turned it sideways and laid the light on top of
There
it.
you go. There you go.
I love to share the real behind the scenes of what it's like
Absolutely.
to,
Well, you see, I have my background blurred. There's a reason for that. So,
right. You still sound fantastic though. I really do like
but I
that
don't really
headphones.
like the look. Like I feel like a pilot or so. I don't really know. But thank you.
I know I have a pair of light pink ones that I was wearing there for a while, and I just couldn't get over the idea. I'm like, oh, I hate having headphones on, and so
Hmm.
yeah, I ended up getting rid of them. Anyways, while everyone's jumping on, you want to start for just a second and chit chat since we're already talking?
Yeah, I can. A win this week. I started working with a client that I unpacked a few months back. Um, they have built a workshop or whatever, so they called me back to come help get them moved into that. So that was cool. Right before we jumped on this call, another win is one of my virtual clients just sent me a message. Hey, I didn't even know she was still following me or anything because, like, she doesn't comment or anything. So you don't know who's kind of like back there lurking, right? Hey, I
Mm-hmm.
need a refresh session. Can we book that? And oh, by the way, I want to buy X amount of sessions for my mom for Christmas, da da da. So I'm like, oh, that was a good message to open up. Um, let's see, that was my wins. What else do you want to know?
Oh, just like a challenge or
A
like somewhere that,
challenge.
yeah.
So the challenge, as you very well know, is just still writing, is just finding really and truly finding time to write this course. But I sat down yesterday. I went to a coffee shop. I was meeting somebody that was interviewing me for a magazine article, and I went there like early, and I sat down and like just wrote, and that helped me so much. I keep time blocking that out, but then I mean I'm just going to be very honest. When a client calls and says, "Hey, do you have time?" There's money there immediately, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking that, um, which is pushing this back some, but it's okay. I mean, like I'm trusting the timing. I feel like I'm learning a lot in that process. So that's still just the challenge. And really it's a huge learning curve for me. All the things that I'm like diving into are just big, but they're good. Like I'm not complaining. I actually like challenges, so it's really kind of a good thing for me.
Yeah. Well, and I think what you said too, though, the fact of going to a coffee shop, even having an office in my home, like it sounds great, but there's still laundry that needs to be done. There's still like all the
Hmm.
stuff, or the dogs bark, or someone needs to be
Hmm.
fed, or whatever.
Hmm.
And so literally I've gotten to where I'm like, I'm going to the tea shop. I'm going to the tea shop. It's
Hmm.
like not far down the road, but there's something about sitting there that I can focus and not have all the distractions, right?
No,
And it's been
exactly.
such a blessing having that. Even I get more done there in an hour than I can in my own house in a week.
No, that's how I feel too. And the little couch sitting area was free, so I didn't have to sit at a table, and I was able to like lounge a little bit and kind of just chill out and relax. And it was good. And some people that I know that know what I'm doing now came through, and they're like, "Oh, you're still doing that," you know. So it was kind of conversation too. So it was good. Yeah, it
That's
was good.
really good. Yeah,
Mhm.
speaking of people coming through, just FYI, I'm sure all of you are aware. Just be aware if you're putting your business cards out, they have our photo on them. They have So I had a random guy text me and he found my card somewhere, but I immediately could tell that like it was a weird vibe. And I'm like, so are you needing organizing sessions? And he's like, I might sometime in the future. Tell me about yourself. And I'm like, no. I was like, okay, well, let me know when you need that. And then I immediately blocked him because I was like, no, no, no. Like, so
Yeah,
we got to trust our gut.
yeah.
Not all money's good money.
Nope. And you got to be
Not at
careful.
all.
Yeah, you have
Yes.
to be careful.
Yeah. And honestly, there's very few men that reach out that are just men, it seems like. Most of the time, it's either like them, and I hate either they're gay or it's for their spouse or or they're like a single guy and you immediately can tell they're just like a good guy, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm,
like
mhm,
there's some of the guys you just have to, be careful. Keep
mhm,
pepper spray with you.
mhm.
um, oh, Selena said she had a person text and just say hi twice already. Oh,
I'm
yes.
getting those a lot too, though, and it's just people. Like I got one today. Somebody sent me a picture of a beach. I wish you were here. Okay, delete. I mean,
I'm
I do
sure you
too,
do.
but I don't want to be there with you. So delete.
I
They're
know.
just
I try.
ramping up their spam stuff right now.
Well, and I try to look at it in a positive light because I'm getting all this like YouTube stuff and YouTube SEO. And I'm like, well, if you found me, then other people can find me. So I'm obviously doing something right. And so I take it as like a compliment because if not, it would stress me out with the amount of
Mm.
spam and text and all the stuff. But yeah, so yeah, definitely let us know. I'm excited. I know no pressure for when you get the course done. Plus, it's the holidays, so it's kind of hard to do that. But yeah, whenever you're ready to work on it, I just go back to the coffee shop
Right,
when you're
right, right,
actually ready.
right.
Yay. Yeah, and definitely let us know because I know that you'd also said, I know you're getting info back beta wise from other people, but if at some point you want any of us to help you, I'm sure we'd be more than happy to test some of them out for you. Yay. Hey, Miss Jen, how are you? You're just next on my
I'm
photos.
good. Let's see. As far as a win, I kind of have two. One is I did my second workshop last week at the library,
Oh,
and
congrats.
thanks. And it went very well. I mean, there was not a ton of people, but that's okay. It's slowly getting out there. The library keeps getting um comments from people on the post about like, oh, I'd love to go, but I'm not available that day, or oh, let me know when you're doing another one. So um it's definitely something, that people have interest in. It just, we're not getting a ton on the day of. So, but that's okay because I had two very nice ladies, and there was the librarian too. She usually hangs out. But these two ladies who had a lot of questions, this topic was preparing to downsizing and preparing to age in place. So I wanted to kind of do it towards seniors and focus on like what do you need to do to prep your home for, you know, being able to stay there long term, mostly as it relates to organizing, like, obviously clearing walkways and making the spaces safer and, downsizing your stuff now so that you don't have to deal with it later and blah, blah,
That's
blah.
a really good topic for, like about because I'm sure most people do want to stay in their home as long as they possibly can before going to assisted living.
Yeah, well, the goal would be to just stay ideally to the rest of your life. Um,
Yeah.
and it was interesting as I was doing some research, because obviously I was mostly going to focus on the organizing side, and I did, but I also put in a few like safety things that people might not have thought about, and some facts about like numbers and such about like uh how many people. Oh yeah. Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
I did see that on Facebook earlier. Um, but yeah, like how many people want to stay in their own home versus how many houses are actually ready for that, and
Oh,
and how much it costs to go into assisted living, which
I think that's a huge one that people don't realize the
yeah,
cost.
and I think the uh amount they gave that I found actually might be a little low because I know one of the clients I'm currently working with, we were just doing paperwork sorting, and he's paying for his dad's or he's handling his dad's money for his dad's assisted living. So
Mhm.
I got to see the bills of exactly, and it was like double what the number was in my uh in my presentation. Now I know he's in a really nice one, but at the same time, it's like, it's not
Yeah,
cheap.
but you don't want a horrible one, and on top of that, if you're bringing in people for, like, 24-hour care or, like, to do the bathing and all the
Right.
different stuff, it's an additional fee that people don't realize.
Yep. and also the cost of, to modify a home, to prepare, depending, it all depends on what, if you need a wheelchair or not, but like, uh, am I breaking up?
No, you're good. Am I
Okay.
breaking up?
Now, for a second, it seemed like it was a little choppy.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's like over $100,000 estimate to like modify your home if you need like, wheelchair access and all this. So anyway, I basically, went over like kind of talking through prepare now, and maybe if your house needs a lot of modification, maybe consider downsizing and choosing a different house. It doesn't, like stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, it went really well. The ladies had a ton of questions. It actually brought up, um, I agreed to do another workshop next month. So I feel like this is probably going to be a monthly thing for a little bit, which is fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
and
you
it
could even
also
take the content that you're doing and you could do
exactly,
that.
exactly.
Repurpose.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on this week, is because I've been behind on some social posts. So I'm kind of taking stuff from the workshops and making it into that. But yeah, my next one was basically based on a question that they asked um about like digital stuff. They were talking specifically about like managing their email inbox and like, and how to tackle that. And I was like, well, I would be
Ask and
happy.
you shall receive.
So yeah, so I think my next topic is going to be basically like digital organizing, and that sort of thing, and trying to like, uh,
And just remember, which I'm sure you know, but just a thought, keep it simple. Talk like you're
yeah,
talking to a 5-year-old. Like that is the best. Cause I only say that because I know a lot of us, we look at it from like everything we know. And so then we
mhm,
almost, we forget to simplify. We think, oh, they're going to want more. We need to know more. We need to, and really then we just talk over their head and confuse them. And then, it doesn't, but the second you take it back to like the very basics and keep it super simple to where it would put us to sleep, they're like,
mhm,
oh, I have more questions. And that sounds
yes,
amazing.
yeah. So yeah, so I think that's gonna probably be my next topic. And what's cool, I didn't know, as it came up during this, the library actually offers, um, people can sign up on Fridays and Saturdays, as long as there's, the staff are on hand. There's 2 different staff members who will help people with that sort of stuff, like any tech help and stuff like that. So the one lady signed up right after the workshop. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know you did that." So, and I was like, "Well, I did say, I was like, look, I'm not, use the library if they can offer you that, great." I said, "But also if anybody needs it or wants it like in your home or more in depth, I offer that."
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and the other thing, did you promote your workshop on your social media and stuff
yeah,
to like oh, okay.
yeah, I've been doing that. I've promoted it, and the library also promotes it. So,
Nice.
I create a flyer ahead of time for them to put up in the library, and then I've been creating social posts, for them to share. So it seems to be working out. It's at least getting
That's
my name out
awesome.
there. Yeah,
That's a huge win because
yeah,
that alone can, you know,
yeah,
trickle and yeah, all the stuff. So that's
yeah. And
amazing.
both ladies took my business card. So, I don't expect to hear anything now. I probably will hear something in 6 months or a year. You know how it works.
Oh yeah.
But the one lady was like, I made a joke about storage units, not realizing. She's like, "Oh, I have 3." I was like, woman.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
I have another organizer I was talking to the other day, and she's helping a client right now. He has 5 storage units that he has had for over 20 years. And in his mind, he still thinks he needs to like keep the 5 storage units. So they're transferring stuff from the storage units to the pods. Yeah.
the pods are not going to save him any money.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, girl. And she's like, I know. I was trying to talk, it just, people
Mhm.
are willing to pay to hold on to stuff that maybe one day, I don't know. If you've
Yeah,
not looked
well,
at it in 20 years, I don't know that you're going to use it, but okay.
yeah. She basically said, well, she said it's basically like one from each family member who has recently passed, or like passed in the last,
Oh,
so many years. She's like, my mom passed. I put all her stuff in a storage unit. Then my brother all his stuff in a storage unit. Then my sister, and I was like,
Oh,
oh boy. And she's like, so, she's like, but it would be nice. She's like, I just feel bad getting rid of this stuff, but I know that I don't have to keep all of it, but I just haven't gone through it. Like I haven't wanted to face it.
yeah.
I was
Which
like,
I think you'd be perfect for her in the sense of finding the right, I mean, like, because you passionately want to find the right people for donations to go to. So talking
right,
to her more about that side of it will help give it purpose of like, it can either set in a storage unit or their legacy can live on through blessing someone else.
right, right. And I
Yeah.
talked to a very little, like we kind of had a little chat at the very end before she left because I didn't want to hold her up. But like I said, don't feel like you have to keep this stuff because it was theirs and they don't want to get rid of it. Like you need to live your life, not what they wanted. Because they're not
Yeah.
here anymore, and that's it's your life, so don't keep it from guilt. And so I could tell I like hit not a nerve, but like I hit something because she was like, oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. A good thing for her to walk away and think about and
Right.
then reach back out
Exactly.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
So yeah, so the other win is just that this week it's a win and a downside, I guess. I don't have any clients this week, so that's the downside. But the plus side is I have lots of time this week to do all of the office stuff that I did not have time for last month. So
I love it. You're looking at it
so yeah.
positively instead of, oh my God, I don't have any clients. It's no, now I
Yeah.
have time to do this.
Yeah, because both of the clients I'm currently working with like regularly have basically the one he might reach out between now and the end of the month. That was iffy. The other one I think I'll probably see in January.
Yeah. I
Because
feel like a
he
lot
has
of
a
people
lot
out of
going on.
nowhere are like either getting sick or they've decided, I just want to wait till after the holidays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing that from so many people. So, and then as far as challenge, I'd say just trying to make sure that I stay consistent and that I'm not getting discouraged by the fact that November was really busy and December has slowed right down. So,
Well, and
oh,
just so you know, maybe this can encourage you. Almost every year, my November gets extremely busy, maybe the first week or two of December, and then it drops off like, I almost expect it. And then the second we get back into January, it starts to go back up again.
yeah,
So just keep planting those seeds, like, and then, with our energy and our mindset, like knowing, okay, this work I'm putting in, it's going to bloom in January. It's gonna bloom. Like, it can't
right.
hurt to think that way.
Yep. And I just put out more posts in the social groups, especially the Facebook groups I follow. And I specifically wrote in there like booking now for January, because really we're almost in January. So I just wanted to let people know, like, I am willing to have people come in January too.
I have a quick question, Leslie.
Yeah.
Did you get how did your like holiday takedown? Did that end up working for you like the way you presented it?
I have 2 booked right now. What it's done is it's made people book other things though, which is okay
Oh,
too.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I only have 4 slots left for the holiday takedown, but all my days are not booked with holiday takedowns now. They're booked with other things for clients. So that's I mean I'm still okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was just curious because the way you presented it was really nice. And so that's why I was curious if it worked.
I did it
Because
exactly the way I did it last year and it worked last year. Would I have liked to have picked up a couple more clients? I would have, but I also feel like I still have a whole nother week and people are just starting to start thinking like, oh crap, I gotta take all this
right.
stuff down. Yeah. So I'm trying to kind of plug that in right now just a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, because we know a lot of our clients are going to wait until December 26th, and then they're going to be like, oh, wait, I got to take all this down now.
Mhm.
And hitting them in the sweet spot of like, how stressful was it putting your stuff up this year? Wouldn't you like it to be nice and organized next year when you go to pull it back out?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's my stuff though. I'm
I love it. Well,
just
congrats. And
doing
I mean,
paperwork this week and also reminding myself that taxes are due on Friday. So, well, not due. I have to report them And basically it's just reporting, yes, I made money, but no, you don't get to take any taxes. So have a good day.
Oh.
It's the sales tax thing I signed up for because
Oh,
originally I
right.
thought I was needed to have sales tax. So now the only time I have to pay any sales tax is if I buy like something for a client and I don't pay sales tax at that time because I technically have a form that, I can, like on Amazon or whatever, I can say, don't charge me tax. But so now I basically just have to report all of the income I make and just say, no, none of this is taxable. And that's all. And if I don't, they
Good.
charge me $50. So
Oh, fun.
yeah.
Hey, but at least you're not having to keep up with all of that. At least you figured out that, like, hey, as long as I pay sales tax at the store, then I'm not having to keep up with all of the sales tax as a whole separate thing to turn into
Yes.
the gut or the state at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that's
And
good news.
part of me wonders if I should just get rid of it. Like, but I don't know if I'll need it at some point. I'm not sure. It's one of those things that I
Yeah.
just keep putting it off because as long as I put in the numbers and tell them I don't owe anything, there's no issue.
Yeah. And as long as you're not paying anything, then you might
Yeah.
as well keep it around just to see if you end up needing it or not for something.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yay. Well, congrats. I love
thanks.
it. Hey, Miss Selena.
Hello, Miss Samantha.
Are you excited that you're almost done with school for this semester?
I am, but I was looking at my calendar and I have something going on like from the 21st through the 25th. I'm like,
Oh boy.
with gathering, just family stuff, which isn't a big deal, but I'm like, I'm not even done with my Christmas shopping. So I actually brought some stuff home, some craft stuff to finish for the kids, a little ornament to take home to their parents. And yeah, I'm excited. I've been really busy with school, and then my gala was last Saturday or this past Saturday, so that was fun. And then yeah, I'm like, I need to walk my office and sit down and work in my office, but yeah, that's not going to happen for the next few days.
Well, and then as soon as you're done with Christmas, you have like a whole good week that, then you can kind of plan some stuff out and just keep it simple and like not even stress
Yeah.
about it.
I need to probably go somewhere like a coffee shop or just somewhere a quiet, maybe even the library, which I haven't done in a long time, but just to stay focused and think and just kind of plan things out and do things I need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did oh, happy birthday, Angela. And it was Declan's birthday this past week. That's awesome. So how are things going just in general? Like, do you have like a win, even if it's not like business technically related, but do you feel like there's a win somewhere in there? Am I?
With my business, just trying to get into the week and then go from there, which is
Yeah.
okay. I'm too busy anyway to really even do a consultation. I did have someone reach out to me via Thumbtack, and then she asked me to call her back, and I called her back, and she didn't answer, and I texted her the next day, 2 days later, and she didn't reply. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's a no.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the one bad thing about Thumbtack and Angie's List that is super annoying is when they get the information from people, it's just people saying, "Oh, I want a list of the top 10 organizers near me." Like they're not actually ready to book an organizer, and so it's kind of hit or miss as to if people are actually ready for the lead you're paying for or if they're not actually ready. And the ones that come through could end up being fantastic and you could get 10 sessions out of them, or they could never respond or, like you just never know. And so that's the frustrating part about, but I mean, it's good to have those to where there's at least some leads coming in.
Yeah. I need, yeah, I haven't even been posting. I need to post some things on social media. I've just been like busy. Like this whole weekend, we had something going on, like from Friday through Sunday. It's just busy right now.
Yeah. Well, and it's okay that it's busy and that like, because of, I mean, you work Monday through Friday all day long. Like it's very hard to get the momentum going just on the weekends. And as you get into a place where you are more mentally ready, I feel like it's going to work better because now you know more about who you're helping and how you're helping them and what you want to do. It's just like you said, if you plant a bunch of seeds and then all of a sudden too many people come through, but if you can start just planning ahead for like, hey, ideally I'd like to be booked out in the summer. So let me start just slowly planting those seeds instead of like oh, the pressure has to be now to get a session next week or something.
Yeah. It is what it is. When they come, they come. Right now, I'm not worried about it because I don't have the time anyway. Now, when I do have time, I'm like, oh, I don't have any bookings and I have time now. But,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I think that that's good. Like, I think just, and the only reason I say that is because I know it's exactly what you just said, where like we just have to watch our thoughts and our mindsets around it, right? Like, what are we working towards, but then trying very hard not to get discouraged. And I know that it's a lot easier said than done, but even what Jen said a second ago and what I did this week and kind of what you're doing of like, okay, I don't have a session right now. Or like me, I've had 6 different clients cancel on me in the past 2 weeks between sickness and people deciding I'd rather wait till after the holidays. And they were all before my 72-hour cancellation policy. And so I literally went from thinking I had all of these sessions to boom, all of a sudden I don't. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, I'm creating this course for, POC, like I can work on that. And so I'm like, you know what? Like God will take care of it. I'm just going to go with the flow and know that what's happening is meant to happen, like for my good. And I think that's all we can do is just trust.
Yeah. And I start working on taxes too, like getting stuff ready for taxes. I've kind of been doing that little by little, but just making sure I have all my numbers down and everything.
Yeah. And just making sure that it doesn't double account you. That's the one thing that I don't know if you're going to do taxes yourself or not, but just making sure that it doesn't like if Square sends you something or Venmo sends you something, like that's in with your taxes. But then as it went into the bank account, that it doesn't both show as like 2 separate things, even though it was the same transaction.
Yeah. No, yeah, I've already kind of done that. Like, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. I just wanted to mention it because it's like the one place that a lot of us get stuck with, like being a solopreneur and trying to do our taxes.
Yeah. No, we have someone do them, but I just want to get everything in order to turn in.
Yeah. Yay. Well, happy holidays, and I hope everything goes good for you. And then, yeah, we'll just go from there. Beginning of the year, start fresh and, take a deep breath and relax for a minute. Like you work so much and then your family stuff and the gala and like you have had a lot going on. And right before you got super busy, you were emotionally drained. And so to go from emotionally drained to super busy, like it's okay to be like, you know what? I'm just going to take a week off and like rest and that's okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. You deserve it. You work hard.
Thank you.
All right. Miss Angela. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think that's cool that there was 3 different birthdays this week.
Oh, doesn't it suck to have a birthday in December?
My daughter hates it. Hers is the 20th of December. And so every year people will give her one gift and be like, it's for your birthday and for Christmas. And she was always
Yep.
like, Mom, my brother gets 2.
Yep. And no birthday parties because no one has time for it.
Yep. There for a couple years, we actually did a half birthday. And so we figured out the day that was right in the middle. So like when she was like 12 and a half, 13 and a half,
Yep.
And gave her a party then just because it was like exactly what you said. Once kids are out of school for winter break, no one's coming to a birthday party.
Nope.
No.
Nope, they don't. So,
How are things going with you?
well, I did not get to work on my website last week because my computer decided to lock up.
Oh,
So
no.
I had to take it and have it worked on, so I didn't get it back till Friday. I was going to work on it yesterday and our power went out because of the storm. So, so I said, okay, I am not meant to work on this.
Just yet. Yeah.
Right. So I did work on it this morning and so it was better. But then, but I do have a couple of questions for you guys since I'm
Yeah.
actually wanting to try and launch this in January. As far as advertising goes, do you guys, any of you have like a home magazine in your area where all of your home service businesses advertise and then it's distributed? It's huge here. It's expensive, but it's huge here. And I was just wondering if you guys have ever advertised in that.
Not
Or something like that.
Yeah. So I've been asked a few times to the two places that have asked me have been like golf course magazines that where they have like the houses and stuff there and like their people get it.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, I forget the name of it, but he showed me all these statistics and all this stuff. And then there was a realtor one that asked me to do like a spread in theirs or whatever. The only problem though is looking at how many people actually are going to open it and read it for the
It's
price.
huge. Yeah, it's huge here.
Oh, okay.
I have seen businesses double, triple their business just from advertising in it. It is price. It's like $900 a quarter because it comes out 4 times a year.
And do
So
you have to sign a year contract with it or what's
no,
the,
no,
oh,
you
so
just
you could do just a one time?
a one-time thing and see what happens. But yeah, it's huge here. And then of course they have the best of the best. So homeowner, it goes out to over 200,000 people.
Well, and that's kind of my thing. The people that had reached out to me, I had never heard of any of them, right? So even though they were showing me all these statistics and all this stuff, and almost every one of them wanted me to pay around $300 to $400 a month, and each one of them wanted me to sign like a year contract, even though it only went out quarterly.
Yeah,
And so for me, that cost was not worth it.
right.
But
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do the yearly thing, but
yeah,
maybe
but if it's a
one.
one-time thing and
See
maybe
what
you even
happens.
do something like you set, maybe because if it goes out quarterly, maybe you even like set a goal of, you know, it as soon as I get to 3 sessions, then I'll whatever, or as soon as whatever that goal is for you, like to where you would feel comfortable spending that amount of money on the ad. Um, do you know what months it comes out in since it's quarterly?
Um, like the way they do it is by the season. So they'll have a winter and then
A
spring.
spring.
Yeah, winter,
Yeah,
spring,
I was just
summer,
thinking
and
either
fall.
spring or fall would be your
Yeah,
better ones in my
yeah,
opinion to
I've already missed the winter one, so it would be spring. So it would probably come out in April, I think, March or April.
yeah. My only concern with you just launching is if you I don't want you to get like too far ahead of yourself, spend the money and then it doesn't work if you don't have enough of like your Instagram good, your Facebook good, your Google good, your what, like all the stuff to where when they do go look you up, they're like, oh, and they're encouraged and there's reviews on there and there's different stuff to like keep them down your
Right.
funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I guess I'm thinking if I were you, I'd probably try to wait if you were interested in it. I'd probably try to wait till the fall one, but like set a goal of like, I'm going to set aside $100 a month between now and then, or whatever that looks like for you to where by the time you get there, you're not like just, oh, here's $900. I hope this works. And it feels like such a chunk. I mean, you could do it in the summer, I guess, but most people are on vacation in the summer. So I don't know that, you know. So I mean, that's completely up to you. That would just be my thought on it. Like I would want all of my stuff to be very like robust and my reviews to be really good. They don't have to be perfect, but at least
Right.
some on everything to
Mm.
where when I did spend that money, I knew that them finding me. Plus it also takes a little bit of time to kind of refine how you work with your clients. So when each of these people call you, if you do get an influx of calls, you're going to want to have like your systems down of like, this is what I say, this is how I work, here's what I do, those types of things.
Yeah. There's also another way of me getting back to my former clients of the last 30 years as a kitchen and bath designer. So, because I know every single one of them gets that magazine. So
Oh,
that,
yeah, no, that's
yeah,
awesome.
that's a quick way of doing it versus me trying to track them down. Uh,
Yeah. Well, and
so,
that would be a good goal to set for yourself of, I would just ask them, hey, if I want to come out in the fall for the fall season, when do
mhm,
you need my information by? When do you need my payment by? And then that way, like, okay, here in 5 months, this is my goal or 6 months. And then
right.
you have something you're working towards.
Hmm. Right.
And then Leslie says, if you do it, include a photo of yourself. Oh yeah, for sure. How is the ad set up? Is it like a quarter page, a full, do you know?
You can do it however you want to. Say some have, like the new businesses will just do a credit card, business card.
Oh,
Or
okay. Like they'll put like the photo of their
yeah,
business card on there.
but then there's some that do a quarter, and then there's some that do half page, and then of course the huge companies
Yeah.
will do a full page.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that would cost, but
Yeah. But yeah, exactly what Leslie said. Just make sure your face is on there because that's the one thing that like connects people. You know, people skim over words, but the second they see a photo, especially if you've been in that business for that long, they're going to be like, oh, wait, I know her. And then they're going to look into it more.
yeah, they will. And then the other thing too is, do any of you actually put your information on your car, like the back of your window or anything?
Oh, I do. And it's been
Yeah.
huge for like, yeah. But
So
here's
do
the
you put the name of your business or just professional organizer and
profession. Yeah. So for me, all I did was put professional organizer. I'm actually getting my other vehicle. I'm getting ready to get it redone. And I want to put on there. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to word it, but I want to put something about decluttering. But if you're, you know, at least put professional organizer. And then you essentially like, you know, some of these that you see that are like, they're so convoluted, you can't even read. And you got to think they've got
Yeah,
just a
it's too much
second or two.
information. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I'll show you. If anyone else wants to like chit chat for a second about that topic, I'm going to show you guys a photo. I just need to find it of a really good one I saw the other day. And I was like, that is perfect.
Jen, car magnet. So you're putting them on your doors, not your back window.
Right. Yeah, mine are on my two side doors. I
Yeah,
like that
I've had those
because,
before.
yeah, I like that because I can
You can take-
remove them if needed.
Right.
Now, obviously they could be removed by somebody else. Nobody's stolen them so far, thankfully. And if they did, well, they're advertising for me, so cool.
Right.
But the reason I do that is also like sometimes I'll go away to events where I park my car in a parking garage for like 3 or 4 days. And not that am worried necessarily about security, but it's more just if I'm out of the area, I don't want to advertise, that I'm how far out of the area I am kind of thing. It's more of a just this safety makes me feel better thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worked out really well. And I know Samantha loves hers on the back window because that works when people are driving behind you. I've had people stop me in parking lots and stuff and ask me about it.
Yeah, and then ask for the business card. So I saw this girl's the other day. I don't know if I can't see my own photo. I don't know if you guys.
They're big words.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally like, and it just says like helping hands, cleaning services, and her phone number. And it was so bright and big and simple that it stood out like a sore thumb in the parking lot. And I was like, oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah. So I think a lot of us as business owners, we think like, oh, I need to put like a QR code on there. I need to put this and that and the other. And I think it ends up convoluting it so much that as simple as it possibly can be, a phone number. And then the thing I had done with my other one was I actually down on the like on the actual paint off the window, I had put the website. I still haven't figured out how I want to do it because I have a very small window on the SUV I have now, which is why I haven't done it yet because I keep I'm like, I need it to be perfect, which I know I need to just do it. But that would be my suggestion is if you do it on the back window, just keep it like basic, bright, big, easy to read letters, very simple, and at least a photo or your phone number, and then like if you can, your website or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a guy that I probably ended up doing 6 or 7 sessions with him, and he had taken a photo of the back of my car at Home Depot when I was getting like bags, I'm sure one day, over a year ago. And when he called me, he said, I went back all the way back through my photos because I took a photo of the back of your car a year ago.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I've done that before. That's how I used to track down contractors.
yeah,
I'd
it
see,
works.
yeah, I would see their business on their side of their truck or something, and I would take a picture of it and call them, and that's how I got a lot of jobs that way.
Yeah. My only concern with the way that I did it before, well, two things. One is I didn't get the kind that you can see through
Yeah, I've been,
from the inside. It was just legit like a decal that was like solid, and I'm sure I could have gotten pulled over for that. Plus when I went to take the decal off, all of a sudden there's all this sticky residue on the vehicle that I was like, "Ugh," and it was a pain to get them off. So
yeah,
this time I'm going and getting like at a sign company, like a local sign company, I'm getting them to do essentially what you would see at like an actual store where it's see-through from one side, but then from the other side, it's like full color and really pretty.
yeah,
I'm gonna get one of those for the back window this time, just so it's super easy to peel off if I ever need to take it off of there.
yeah. I saw that on a realtor's the other day because you could tell the way it was that you could actually see through it from her side. So,
Yes. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it
and
was bright and it caught my eye. It made me stop in the parking lot and look at it.
yeah.
So,
And that's what you want, because I mean, that's the one thing, like, and that's why for me, like, I'm a huge component of that because it has gotten me a ton of business, like, for sure that I know that's where it came from.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yay. Any other questions? I know that you've been, rocking
um,
it.
yeah, I think that's it so far.
Yay. Okay, I know we got a few people that haven't turned videos on, but I know they probably just wanted to chill and chillax. Okay, so I'm totally gonna open it up. Like I want us to chit chat for a minute because I know it's our last one of the year and holidays coming up, and I don't want it to feel so like, me coaching or whatever. And then I wanted to remind you all that I will definitely either be going live in the membership or something. I haven't decided yet because I'm still working on the course. But it's almost there. I plan on recording it over Christmas, and then as soon as I have it ready, I'll get you guys more info on like the discount and all this stuff for next year so we can do the mastermind. Um, but I feel like I need to ask like a question or something. Like, what are you guys doing for Christmas? Or I don't know, anybody got any like fun little chit-chatty things where we can all like unmute and like hang
I have,
out for a second?
I have a quick question for
Yes.
Leslie and for everyone. Leslie, are you going to go back to the How To Summit? Because I know early registration is like January 1st or something.
Yes, I bought my ticket before I left. Before I
Okay.
left there, they opened them up while we were there, and I bought my ticket then. I've not booked any travel or anything like that, but yes, I bought my ticket.
Can I ask you how much it cost?
The ticket,
Hmm. For the conference?
I think it was $450 that
Okay.
day when we bought it. I do not know if that's still the current price. Like I really have no idea,
Okay. Just to
but I
get an
think that's
idea.
what I paid. Yeah.
What's the
I
How
think I
To
want
Summit?
to.
It's hosted by the Home Sort. I don't
Mm.
Ryan and Brandy, and it's just a summit. It's organizing summit. All organizers from you name it, they're there from somewhere else. $1 million businesses down to businesses like mine. People who have massive teams down to people who are solos like me. And it was just a lot of like there's a lot of workshops you can go to. You pick which ones you want to go to. There's group like sessions where people talk. I don't know what the right word is. I've lost words today. I don't know. And then for me, there was a lot of networking. So I was able to meet a lot of Louisiana, like local to me ladies were there. So that was kind of good too, because now I've made connections with them and we've actually called each other and kind of, hey, I need you to talk to this. Like, what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
networking piece was really um good.
Where do
And
they
I'm
put
not,
it on at?
it was in
It was an
Austin this
auction.
past year. It's going to be in Dallas next year. I'm not going to lie. I got a hotel room by myself and I used that time too. Like I didn't go out to eat and I could do that, but I would go to my room. I'm not going to let me tell the whole story. I would go to the bar and get a drink. I would DoorDash Chick-fil-A and then I would go to my room with my drink and my Chick-fil-A. Yes, I'm very classy. And I would work. Like I got work done because there was nobody, the TV, like it was great. That part of it also was very beneficial for me. So
Yeah, well, and the energy that comes with it too. That's why every time we get off these calls, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. Like, I just want to get stuff done. And then I'm like, wait, crap, I've got to go like feed my dogs. And
Like I talked to a lady that was on one of your podcasts. We were sitting by each other and she got to talking about her businesses. And I was like, wait a second, you were on Samantha's podcast. She was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm one of Samantha's girls. She was like, oh. And so like we got to talking. So yeah, it was good.
Aw,
Yeah, it was good.
that's so good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'd be awesome. How many people show up? Do you know? Like, is it a huge?
Oh, it was hundreds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's big.
I can't believe I've
Actually,
never heard of it.
they're I think they're going to a bigger venue. I might be misspeaking, but I think they're going to a bigger venue this year because it was so many people. And the swag bag that you get, that almost covers your ticket right there. All the stuff you get. Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. Did is the like are the workshops and different stuff? Is it like how to grow your business, or is it like what are the topics?
They varied. They were very like one was about how would you these particular people, like their niche was moving, like, but they were like moving big, huge, massive, like contracts, right? Not the kind of moving that I have done, but they did every piece of the move. So it was like there were workshops that taught about that. There was one that was just a Q&A. You just go in and it was Rhea Safford, and you just got to ask her questions and she answered. And then there was a lady there that she's an organizer, but she had all these other streams of income, like digital course or affiliate of this, or so you could ask questions and kind of get to figure out how was she doing that. It was broad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's awesome. I was just curious because to me, NAPO, yes, it's great. I would never knock it because it's NAPO, right? But like, I've had a few people that I've tried to interview for the podcast that are very like NAPO.
No, it's not like that.
Okay.
No. And
no,
it's very well curated where one, you get to choose the sessions that you go to. Obviously, if they fill up, you've got to choose maybe your second choice or whatever. But it's also curated where like there were times where we had to go and sit just somewhere else. And I usually don't love that. But when we got there, it wasn't like just go sit. There was like it was actually a fan because it was outside and it was hot in Austin in September, but the fan had questions to go around the table and ask each other. And when I tell you the conversations that were sparked and the information that was gleaned from that was huge. We didn't even usually get through all the questions because we were making such great connections business wise with other people.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm hoping that the mastermind would be very similar to where it's more like peer to peer and we're all just going to like help each other in feed as we like talk about the
awesome.
Yay. Okay. And then
I was hoping I would see one of y'all there because I'd love to see you guys in person.
I know one of these days, listen, my big dream, just so you all know, is one of these days we're doing a retreat at a beach. I don't care what beach. At some beach, we're doing a retreat and we're going to plan it out far enough ahead that we can all save up and like get there together. That's the big goal, but it'll be one of these days.
Yes, I'm ready.
Samantha can do mastermind retreats every year for all of us.
Yes.
Can I
honestly
recommend somewhere halfway up and down the East Coast? Because it seems like that's where we all are.
Right. We'll go to like Virginia Beach
except for
or somewhere.
Selena. Sorry.
Listen, my thing is I've never seen clear water ever in my life. It's like my one big goal. And so I was like, one of these days I'm going to create a retreat and it's going to be at a place where there's clear water, like the Gulf side, and it's going to be beautiful. And we're going to have an amazing time. Because some of the people I follow, I'm like, look at how much fun they're having. Just like a long weekend together with like all these people that, they know and that they've worked with. And yeah, so one of these days we will definitely do it. I'm in the middle of praying for it and speaking it into existence.
Where is everyone from?
Do what?
Where is everyone from? I'm in Virginia.
So
I'm Louisiana.
Tennessee.
Texas.
And I'm New York.
Okay.
Yep. And then we've got some other people in, I think we have another member in Texas. We've got another like Maryland. And then, I don't know.
We have a new Louisiana girl.
That too. Yeah. Yep. New Louisiana girl.
Trisha is Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yep, she and I are the rural ones. We live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's so funny because we'll say stuff like, during coaching sessions where we're like, well, go to your local, like, whatever and promote. And Jen and Trista are both like, that's an hour from me.
I think there's someone in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, Ebony is in she's in Virginia. Here she comes. I
Okay.
think there she is. Hi, oh, you look so pretty today. Are you at the school?
No, I'm at the library. My son wanted to come to the library. And thank you for the
Yay.
call. So yes, I'm in Richmond.
Okay.
Yay. Well, and happy
3
birthday,
hours from
Ebony.
me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, and Yolanda's in New York City. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just saw Yolanda's name pop up here, and she's in New York as well.
Well, she's just north of New York City. We get very particular about this in New
Yeah.
York. Just want you to know, like there
Yeah.
are areas.
Yeah, because people from New York City will say, "Oh, you're from upstate." I'm not from upstate. I'm
No.
northern Westchester. But yeah,
Correct. Thank you. I don't consider you upstate either. But
I-
I've had debates with people in the Westchester, Rockland, and I'm like, you are not that far upstate. Like really,
exactly.
you're downstate. There's the upstate, the downstate, the New York City, the Long Island. Like that's kind of
Those are the rivalries.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And hey, Yolanda, how are things going with you? You want to say hi super quick? I know we haven't seen you in a second.
Yeah. Actually, I was just gonna say, so I do have a win. I'm actually like put in the paperwork, so I'm retiring February 3rd. So yay! 30 years in New York City public schools coming to an end. So yeah, so I'll be reaching out to you, Samantha, because I feel like I need like a couple of sessions just to like get back on track.
Yeah. Well, and you had started the course, but you just didn't have time. Like and so diving back into that, I think will be helpful. And then, but because you weren't sure, kind of when you were retiring, how, and so now, because I mean, seriously, the time that you like helped your cousin and you helped her declutter, you lit up talking about it. Like you were so on fire for it. But then, real life hit and you have to go back to work and you have to do the daily grind and all that stuff. And so congrats. That's huge that you're getting to retire.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. A little scary, but
listen, Leslie, she just retired this past year. She's living her best life.
I'm living through Leslie. I watch her. I'm one of those people who like, I may not like a post right away because
You're
like
one of Leslie's lurkers.
Yeah. I lurk in the background. I'm like, what is
Don't
she
we
doing?
all? We all see Leslie and we're like, go Leslie. Who
Y'all
was it?
are crazy.
I was talking to somebody the other day. It may have been Selena, and she was like, I just watch what Leslie does. She's like, and then that gives me ideas for what I'm gonna do. I was like, listen, you got to get inspiration wherever you can get it. But I love that, like, and then I was talking, I think, to Leslie, and she was saying she had met with somebody else in the membership to help. Like, the fact that we are helping each other and inspiring each other, even if we don't know we're inspiring each other, like, I think that's huge on, the journey that we're all on.
Right.
Yeah, just follow Leslie's lead. She's leading the way here.
Wow. Y'all are in for a big surprise if you think I'm going to lead the way. Just ask Samantha where I was a year ago. Oh.
Yelling at me because it wasn't happening like it was.
Well,
yeah, but look at where you are now.
But I'm still not, I haven't arrived yet, but I'm getting there.
There was yelling, yes.
Shh, Jen, you're supposed to be on my side.
I didn't say who was yelling at who.
Right.
I didn't specify.
No, it was so funny. And I think that's good for a lot of you to hear, because Leslie was literally like, Samantha, I know you're telling me if I plant seeds, this is going to work, but I'm not seeing anything working. Like, where's it coming through? When's it good? She was very like, I need to know.
You act like I was a little bit agitated. I'm not sure.
Actually, I don't know that you would say agitated. I felt like you were more dejected. Yeah, no, seriously, I think you were discouraged.
Like, this was supposed to work and it's not working.
Yeah.
And
Which is why I think it's so fantastic watching you like bloom and do all this stuff. Like you put in such hard work and like you stayed consistent. You planted the seeds, like you did what you needed to do, even on the days that you were like, I'm about to like lose my mind because I don't want to do this. And now, exactly what you said, like people are calling you, you're creating a course. Like I know for you, it still probably sometimes feels like, "Ugh, it should be this, that, or the other." But from the outside looking in, like you are definitely like elevating every
no,
single time.
I've done my like yearly evaluation and I've looked at my numbers, all kinds of numbers, and where I didn't hit some of my goals, I am so much further along than I was last year at this time.
Mhm.
So much further along. And I don't mean just in revenue, I mean in other places as well. But y'all are all in the same boat. You're still looking forward, right? Like I haven't arrived. There's still a goal that's way far off, but do look back and what you've accomplished in a year, because it might blow your mind, especially like I took my first year and this is my second actual full year and I put the numbers side by side. That's very eye-opening to look at 1 year to the next year. Even though you're not where you want to be, it's very eye-opening to see the growth that has happened. Yeah.
And I think that's
I
huge. Like
agree.
we have to look back and we have to look at the numbers, right? Like because no matter how we feel, the numbers aren't going to lie to us. And when we look at our numbers and yeah, okay, exactly what you said. The numbers may not be where we thought they were going to be or where we expected them to be, but if we compare them just to ourselves, not to someone else, not to what someone else says we should be making, but just to ourselves so we can appreciate the growth we have had and the work we've put in.
And the coach who kept telling me, just be consistent, I promise, Leslie, I promise, just stick with it. It's coming. How many times did she say that, Jen? I promise it's coming.
I feel like it's multiple times every coaching call.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's right. She is right.
Did I show you? Hold on, wait, where is it?
But you have to put the work in on your side. Like Samantha can't just keep saying it's coming and it's going to come.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Samantha,
Yes.
I want you to know, I don't know if you could see this.
Planting seeds. Yes.
I took them off my wall because they were starting to bother me, but I had a bunch of Post-its on my wall and I had one category that was planting seeds. And then I went with your theme.
Thank
and
you.
I continued. And my one category was picking flowers.
Okay.
Hold on, wait, where's the other one? And then I think it was something about fertilizing, maybe. I'm not sure.
That's good. Water it, girl.
I'm trying to find it. But yes, fertilizing the soil. So I had different categories based on, so
I love it.
You were very inspiring.
I appreciate that. And honestly, like I've taken some of what because Trista is the one person in my ear. Sometimes it's like, Samantha, keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. And I'm like, oh yeah, keep it simple. So the new motto going forward is keep it simple, plant seeds, but stay consistent. Because if we don't have all three of those things, then it doesn't work. But to me, those three things make it to where I'm like, oh, okay, is this simple? Is it planting a seed? And can I stay consistent with it? Because if I can, it's going to work for me.
I want to also say something. This is my first year. I'm kind of closing out my first year. So I have nothing to compare it to, but I was kind of evaluating my year also. And not just the numbers, because the numbers aren't very high for me this year, but everything else that I've done and the different ways that I've grown in my business that I never thought would happen having a business. I was like, oh, I've done this and this and this. And this one was really fun. And this one was unexpected, but it was really cool. So just all those cool things. I was like, oh, this is really cool to look back at everything that I've actually done.
And like you've stepped out and you started putting your face on social media and doing reels. Yeah. And talking to the camera. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah. And you know what? I noticed that, so I was looking at those also and looking at my numbers. I was like, oh, a lot of times at the beginning, I didn't feel like people were looking at me or watching me, But then I started looking at some of the other posts. I'm like, oh, some of those posts actually have higher views than my static posts or just my reels that don't show my face.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay,
That's
really
right.
cool. So yeah.
And Selena, can I also encourage you that you have grown, like your shoulders are more back than they were when you first started this. And like your head is held higher than it was when you first started this. And for me personally, because that's the journey I walked through, where everyone used to tell me like I need to get a backbone, and I used to cry in the corner all the time if someone even looked at me the wrong way. Like watching you get like, I don't want to say stronger, but stronger because you're growing on the inside and you're putting in the work and like you're doing what you need to do. And I think that that is to be admired as well. And don't let those types of things, like the growth we do on the inside is just as important as the numbers and the stuff that we see on the outside.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Do y'all think that you get a lot of clients through the Instagram reels? And because I've never once reached out to anyone from Facebook. Well, I have Facebook, but not Instagram ever.
Yeah,
So
I was just gonna say, not my Instagram, but definitely my Facebook. I've had lots of people through Facebook, but I'm also, I don't know that my area really is big in Instagram. Like there are some,
yeah,
definitely,
maybe
but
maybe
like
that's my area too.
because of the area that I'm in, being more rural, being more, like a lot more farmers and slower
That's
pace life,
yeah.
they are looking at Facebook for like local news. Instagram doesn't have a feature like that where you can have like community groups, so I think that's the difference there. But I think Leslie, you've gotten a couple from Instagram, right? Yeah,
some of my bigger clients have come through Instagram. And it's not from seeing one reel though. It's there are people who have been there, kind of watching for a little while. I might not realize they're there, but nobody's calling you because they saw you one time. If they are, they're
Right.
probably
It's a repetitive
not the
thing.
one you want to work with, because they're like, I don't know. It's somebody who's been watching you for a little while, who feels like, oh, okay, I think I could let her in my house and feel okay. You know what I'm saying? They build that like, know, and trust factor kind of thing. But no, yeah. I mean, actually, one of them was somebody who booked my holiday special that we were talking about earlier last year. She turned into her whole house and 3 referrals that have also become big session clients. So yeah,
And
it does work.
Yeah, and I think the point is like Instagram can work, Facebook can work, Google definitely works. It's about like, and Google itself, like all of us have to do Google. Like that's just a given, or at least we should be doing Google, in my opinion. But when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, it's more of what are you more comfortable with? Because you might as well start at a place that you are already more comfortable. What are you more comfortable with? Stick with that one thing and start building it from there. But I think the kind of secret right now on both of those is video and showing our faces, because those static posts just are not doing what they used to do for people. Even if they see a photo, they'll kind of glance at it, but people are so used to shorts and stories and reels and all this stuff now that even if it's on Facebook, I feel like it's a lot easier to get people engaged if it's some sort of video, even if it's something short of you just like introducing yourself, or like it doesn't have to be a ton of videos, but just something that they can help build that know, like, and trust factor with you.
And the other thing too is Samantha and I talked about this when I was first starting my business. I didn't know of any organizers that are in my immediate area. There were some, feelers out, but nobody in the city that I'm in. I almost felt like social media was teaching people this is something you can have and something that you might want. Whereas Google, they've got to be actively typing in, they're looking for an organizer. If you don't know that's available in your area, you're not going to be looking for it. Google does work. I've gotten many clients from Google too. And that's why I tell you how to feed it all the time, because it works. But Instagram, I think, is where I started kind of just teaching people this is hey, this is in your area. You can have this kind of thing. I mean, that's where I got my business client from. It was a huge project. He just was like, I just found you on Instagram. Can you come and organize the whole business? I see you're he said, an organizing expert. And I'm like, I don't know where you got that from, but if that's what you want to call it, sure, I'm on my way. But so it does work. But I think it's where you can just show people the possibilities, what they can have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to comment, it kind of ties actually to what Leslie just said too. I find on Instagram, I have an easier time connecting to other businesses than I do on Facebook for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
That
But
actually
I-
makes sense.
one thing I did remember, one of my early clients actually was technically referred through Instagram. So like there was this social media person in my area who had seen me on Instagram. And when somebody posted on a Facebook group asking, hey, are there any local organizers? She remembered me from Instagram and shared my info. And then that client has actually led to multiple other clients. That particular client keeps referring new people, which I'm thrilled about. But I definitely have noticed I get more businesses interacting with my Instagram page than I do my Facebook page. And I'm even finding businesses that I didn't know about, in my area.
I feel like Facebook is good for the groups part of it, like finding actual groups that you could like, share or like give advice. And then, but the fact that like, on Canva or wherever or on Meta where you can share it to both, like I think just making sure that like you just have like at least the basics there. And I think what Nikki said the other day about having like a start here button when you get to that point. But for just starting out, I would say just like go with what you're comfortable with, start getting comfortable with it, because at first it seems like, oh God, I've got to post and I've got to do videos. I'm like, and you can get very overwhelmed by like all the things you should be doing. Whatever you're most comfortable with staying consistent at, start there and then allow it to grow from that, so you don't overwhelm yourself and not do anything. Yay. Oh my goodness. I love it. I'm so excited. Oh, yeah. Leslie would not even put her face on there at first. And I have a theory. It's because she's a teacher. I feel like every single teacher we've had, because they're taught like, keep your personal life separate and so that's a huge hurdle for anyone that's in the education field whatsoever, which she was a vice principal, not a teacher, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the upper New York from the regular, my bad. But I think, for Leslie to go from where she was to like, and what I love about Leslie's reels and her stuff she does, they're not these like the home edit or the ones that seem so polished, they drive me nuts because they look like HGTV and like they seem so out of reach. With Leslie's, they just seem very like basic and simple. And like even that one Tatiana did, I'm like, oh wow, like just taking a few photos, popping a little video on there, a couple more photos, like and turning it into a reel. Like to me, all of a sudden that became a lot more feasible versus just like, oh, wait, all of a sudden I have to show my own kitchen and me pulling out stuff and like, no, thank you. I'm good.
I'm not gonna lie, home edit, they get on my nerves so bad. I would love to smack Clea. Is that her name? Is that her name? If I could reach through and just smack that woman, it would make me happy.
I think what drives me nuts about them, and real quick, like it says the home edit, but they don't show enough of the edit piece. So then they make people think that like, oh, we're going to come in and just, in 30 minutes, yeah, have your whole house done, or like the whole room's going to be perfect with labels and everything. And I'm, good for
and they
them.
don't tell the people how much those boxes cost.
Or
No,
that,
they don't.
right? I'm like, because some people will call me and they'll be like, I want that. And I'm like, okay, we're looking at it probably like 10 grand. I'm going to need 5, 6 more people, a handyman on site. Like, we're going to need a lot more than just me coming in for 3 hours if that's what you're wanting.
Yeah, they need to put at the end of that what each one of those cost.
That would, oh my God, that would be so amazing if they
And
would actually
time.
show the reality of it took this long with this many people and like this much, but then the magic of TV would be gone and they wouldn't be able to, but point being is you don't have to show up as those
Yeah.
types of organizers. Like just show up as yourself and like figuring out who you're talking to, what you're talking about. So it's to one person, one message of how you're going to help them, and then just go from there. Yeah. Yay. All right. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. And then I'll definitely post the membership and all the stuff. And then the podcast episode will be coming out this week. But if you guys need anything, put it in the membership, reach out, and then I will see you guys in not 2 weeks. It's the week after, which I'll post it in the thing, but not the 31st. The 7th is our next one because Tuesday is Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And I knew we'd all have plans on those 2 days. So I'll see you all in 3 weeks. Do
Yolanda
what?
had something.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Go. Sorry, Yolanda.
Oh no, I was saying bye.
Oh, I do have a very quick question.
Yeah, you're good. If
The-
anyone needs to head out, you're good.
The photo organizing workshop from last week.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. Let me explain for you real quick.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So when we got off of that, I felt like, and I could be wrong, if you all want the replay, I'm more than happy to share it. I felt like her pitch was very salesy and that it kind of kept coming back to, oh, my business does blah, blah, blah. My business, when she was supposed to be there to teach you all how to incorporate photo organizing into your business. So I got a little annoyed with that. And I was like, I don't know that she's worthy to be put in my replay vault. It's kind of where, but I'm more than happy to put it in there if you guys want to like take a chance to and like rewatch it, check it out, whatever. And then I'll just delete it. I just don't want it in there forever because I was not impressed because she told me one thing. And then when she came, it was a totally different thing that as to the way she even started the workshop as, well, how many women are going to actually be here? And I'm like, what if there's only 2? Who cares? Like,
Right.
talk to those 2 people, help those 2 organizers that are just getting started. At the end, I said, hey, if you were just getting started, what are some tips that you would give or that you wish you knew when you were just first starting? Where to start? There's just so many things. Okay, well, all right. I guess we're done with the workshop. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where that one went.
I somehow completely lost track of time last week, and all of a sudden it was 6:30 and I was like, oh yeah, there was a workshop. I'm missing it. Okay.
Yeah, and honestly,
So-
she did give us a few good nuggets and she did give us a link to a really good photo organizer. So I'll post the replay. I'll keep it up to like the end of the year and then I'll just delete it. I just didn't want it to be in there for forever.
No, that makes perfect sense. I was just trying to see if there was any tips she had.
Yeah,
When you
there was
say-
a few little nuggets. It was her persona, I guess, that kind of threw me off a little. Do you guys remember, and I think I was telling Leslie this or Selena, but do you guys remember the email chick that came in and did that fabulous workshop, but that everyone went to her freebie thing and all of a sudden she was wanting to charge like $3,000 or whatever it was for her thing? And it kind of felt like that in a way. Like, send me all your clients. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to do this with your clients per se, because if I tell you too much, then you won't want to send your clients to me for me to help organize their photos. So, but there's some good nuggets in there. So I'll post the replay. I'll forgive and, move on.
You don't have to. It's up to you. I mean, I'll take
No,
your
I
word
mean, I
for it.
think I should because to me, I always want to make sure the replay's in there because it's for you all. And maybe you all will get a different feel from her than I did. I just got a little like, ooh, and I'm like, you're not worthy of my women. But, I probably should get off of that high
Well,
horse just a little.
she's happy, but maybe some of her nuggets of info will be good
And
enough
they
for me
were.
to-
There were a couple pieces that I
for
was
me
like,
to take
okay,
and
that's
use it myself.
exactly. So take whatever you want. But yeah, I'll post the replay.
Okay.
That way you guys have it if you want to watch it.
Okay.
Yay.
Thanks.
All right. See you guys in a few weeks. And I will definitely probably be going live or posting some stuff over the next few weeks about the mastermind for next year. Yay. All right. Merry Christmas, guys. And happy birthday to
Merry
like
Christmas.
everybody. Bye.